I'm Froggy, and welcome to another 360 Dollhouse tour. Now, if you are new to our 360 tours, there are a few things you might want to know. Number one, and most importantly, it is interactive. If you're on a phone or tablet, you can pick up your device and move it around. That's right, give it a try. Do a little spin. Woo! And you will see that you control the camera. If you are on a computer or pretty much a computer or like a laptop, you can click and drag the screen so that you can move the camera that way as well. Right now I am recording on my computer, so you're gonna hear my mouse making all kinds of fun little clicking sounds. You are free to look around on your own, or you can follow us on our tour. We are going to start with the front of the Mystery Shack, which is perhaps my most favorite part of the entire Mystery Shack. I can just photograph the outside of it and be perfectly happy. We did a lot of research to try to make sure it was as accurate as possible from the outside, and which pretty much meant watching a lot of Gravity Falls, like the entire series repeatedly. And I was sitting there with my sketchbook just sketching out the little details, trying to get as many of the details and aspects as possible so that we can incorporate it into a dollhouse for our 10 to 12 inch dolls. And I think it turned out pretty good. Those stained glass windows are super fun because when the light shines through, they give this beautiful glow. And it's what inspired our Beauty and the Beast stained glass windows, so love that. Then we have the little thin vending machine. I think that's Pit Cola. I want to say it's Pit Cola. It's so far away I can barely see what it says. I mean, I could just go look at the other one, but you know, we're looking at the screen right now. And on the very bottom of the vending machine, there is a little opening so you can put a drink so the doll can look like it's actually getting a cola out of the soda machine. So that's pretty cool. Sophie and Chloe are standing over there getting ready to go into the museum. It says next tour in 15 minutes. And then we have an ice chest over there on the side by the Pit Cola machine, and our trash can from our doll trash can video. That is a lot of fun because that one's like pure recycled materials. I mean, and you get to recycle plastic bottles, which is like one of my favorite things ever. Then we can look at the top. On the very top of the Mystery Shack, you can see that the S fell off, and I did fix it. Originally, it was facing the wrong direction. And then as I was making the video, I was like, uh-oh, it's supposed to be reversed. So yeah, I had to fix that. If you scroll around, you will also see the totem pole. That turned out really good. It took me 2 times to paint it, and the second time I think I got it pretty nice. Yeah, I like it. Pretty soon we're gonna switch the camera so you can see another view of the room, or you can just keep looking around for a second. You can probably even see some joggers running across the bridge. Yeah, this is like a mile off the road, so this was a lot of fun carrying it into the woods. Now let's turn the camera so that we can see inside of the gift shop. This is a very small space, so we couldn't include everything that you would have seen in the gift shop. We just had to pick and choose a few items to go into this space. And I chose to go with the counter. The counter was something that you always see Wendy standing at, you know, just reading her magazines and whatnot. And so I thought that would be a fun detail to add to such a small space if we had to choose just, you know, 1 or 2 things to go in this area. We have the cash register, and it says no refunds, a cute little sign in front. Then right next to that, you can see Grunkle Stan statues. Those are tiny. They're just like 1.5 inches tall, and I hand painted each one. So I am very proud of myself for painting something so tiny. And you got some books underneath and some face statue. It's just a rock, and I painted a face on it. I believe in the real Gravity Falls, it's like a large sculpture type thing, like from a statue, but I couldn't find that, so I just went with the rock. And then we have a shelf that has a whole bunch of hats on it that look just like the hat that Dipper bought in the first episode, and I thought that was so iconic that we had to include it into this space. We have another shelf right above that with some skulls. And then you can see the other side of that beautiful stained glass window, which has a lovely little glow. As we leave the gift shop, you can see Grunkle Stan's sofa on the back door, or at the back door. And we can imagine sitting there and looking out into the woods. So I'm actually gonna scroll around and see what he would see. And this is why I'm so happy that we decided to put this 360 tour in a natural location, because it really helps to get the whole feel of being in the woods, because you know, we're actually in the woods. And yeah, carrying a dollhouse a mile down the road. Yeah, I am still very proud of that. And we have, of course, hidden some Easter eggs in this 360 tour, which are little fun things that you wouldn't normally expect to see. So if you see what they are, please let us know in the comments down below. It's always fun to go on these little 360 tour scavenger hunts to see what you may find. And let's turn the camera again for another view. This is a closer view of the Mystery Shack. We can see the very front of like where the entrance is into the museum. And if you were just watching, you probably saw me just run by the Mystery Shack to try to get out of the screen. I wonder where I'm going. Oh yeah, over there by the bridge. This is a public park, so there's lots of people walking by and exercising out here. So yeah, you might see people running by the Mystery Shack from time to time. Anyway, I love the front of the Mystery Shack because we use so many different types of scrapbook paper, like, you know, wood grain scrapbook paper, to try to really sell the idea that it is this rustic old house or shack in the woods, and it was made of like scrap pieces of wood, and it's just aged over the years. And so yeah, you get the idea. Rustic and old, lots of wood. And here you can see that we used a paper that looked like bark to make the logs that go around the door. And then on the podium, there is a large like wood grain there. You can see like the circle ring part of a tree. I thought that was pretty cool. And it says Mr. Mystery. Our tour sign is just made out of paperboard, and I painted it, and then we put a little 15-minute on there so everyone knows what time the next tour is. And you can see a good view of the storm cellar right there on the side of the building. Sophie and Chloe look like they're really interested about going into this little Mystery Shack. Who knows what they're gonna find inside? Who knows? Moving upstairs, we get a great view of Dipper and Mabel's room. We can see the Mystery Shack Gravity Falls Journal 3 right there on the floor, right in the front. That is one of our very first Gravity Falls crafts, and I was super proud of it. I didn't really know much about Gravity Falls until it was suggested that we make this book, and that's when I first was like, oh, this is pretty cool, you know, and then I kind of got into it, and then I ended up building a whole house. So yeah, that's what started it all, the Journal 3. And you can see Dipper's side of the room, and you can see Mabel's side of the room. Now, the window, everybody, that is Bill Cipher. It's what's in the show. I looked at the show, I studied the windows, and that's what the window looks like. And it's for Bill Cipher, who is the bad guy, you know, in the show, but it's Bill Cipher. And that's all I'm gonna say about that. Okay. And above Dipper's bed, we have the painting of the ship. I painted that by hand. It was a lot of fun. I just stared at the picture on the TV screen and painted it. And one of these days I said that I was going to make a video showing how I painted it. I just haven't got around to it yet. So probably need to do that. Then right next to the painting, we have the binoculars. We made those binoculars so long ago. It's not funny. And I've used it in several different rooms, like our doll beach lifeguard tower. Yeah, we use them there, and a couple of other places I can't remember. But they've lasted forever, and they're just made out of paper and a little bit of ribbon and some beads or jewels, and they look great. I love the binoculars. The little tiny lantern on the nightstand, we actually bought that one from Hobby Lobby or Michael's. I think it was Michael's. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Michael's. We bought it from Michael's. We made the lamp, and then there's the little flashlight right next to the lamp that Dipper uses to shrink things, and we used that in the Darby show. That was fun. There's Waddles, the cute little pig. That's actually from My Little Pony, but I was like, that's the most adorable pig ever, so I'm gonna use that. Waddles is a little, you know, different looking than this pig, but this pig was just too cute to pass up. We have a couple of boots right there for Mabel. Those are our Barbie boots. Then we have a little Simba Tsum Tsum and a couple of posters on the wall for Animal Jam. Yeah, this is when I learned about Animal Jam and got kind of crazy about it. It's amazing how these crafts just lead to other things. And their beds are not made. The covers are all messed up. But I think that just helps to add to the charm. And the wall is open so that you can have access to the room, which makes it a lot of fun. And right now you can probably see me running down the hill to change the position of the camera. On the other side of the Mystery Shack, you can see inside of our dollhouse. So we have one room that we are using for the museum. It is a small room, so we weren't able to add everything that you would expect to see in the museum. We were just able to add a few key elements. So one of my favorite things to add was the Bigfoot. And we have a sign here that says Bigfoot, and then there is a large creature that we're using as Bigfoot. However, it is a Wookiee. Yes, I know it's not Bigfoot, but the Wookiee was like the next best thing that I could think of. And I think when we made this, Star Wars had just came out with The Force Awakens. So there was like a billion toys in the store. No, this was before Force Awakens, I believe. I think it was just near, everyone knew that Force Awakens was coming, so Star Trek toys were like hitting the shelves really hard, and finding a Wookiee was very, very easy. So we used a Wookiee. And then we have our Jackalope, which is the cute little bunny from Secret Life of Pets. That bunny is not so nice, but it makes an adorable jackalope. And there was actually a little hole already in the top of his head, so I just put a little piece of brown artificial twig in top of his head to look like antlers to make our jackalope. Yeah, so that's what we did there. And since it is such a small space, we thought a mirror would make a fantastic attraction, because then you can see the most beautiful creature in the world, you. Even though at this angle, you know, you can't really see into the mirror. Yeah, but you know, you get the idea. Your dolls could. And because these rooms are so small and they have ceilings, we put little lights in them. So if you look at the ceiling, there is a little tiny light that we found in the wedding section at Michael's. And normally I have like 2 or 3 up there, but I don't know what happened to them. We've made this house a while ago, so you got to see that with people playing with it, stuff tends to go missing after a while. This is the living room of our dollhouse. The camera is sitting right on the floor inside the dollhouse, so you have a very close view. You can see Grunkle Stan's chair, and right next to it we have our our dinosaur side table, which is the coolest thing ever. In the TV show it's supposed to be a skull, but I couldn't find a skull. Instead, what I found is one of those little chomper thingies, like a chomper toy. So when you wind up the other side, like the teeth chatter together. I thought that was pretty cool. And I just repainted it because it was originally like orange or some bright color. Then we put a little doily. I think it's ribbon, but it looks like a doily. I made a piece of ribbon look like a doily to put on top. Then there's a magazine and a soda can. So it looks like the little side table in the show. I thought that was pretty cool. We have a pizza box and some more cola right next to it. Those are printables on our blog. If you look a little farther up, you can see some blue plaid wallpaper, our stained glass window, and a clock, which is actually like a charm that belongs in a necklace. Yeah, it's like an owl and a clock, and I just glued them both together to make my clock, my owl clock. Yeah, that's what I did. Then we have our lamp right there on the side with another side table, and that's a bead with a toothpick and a glue stick top, I think, or a bottle cap that we made into a lamp, or a lampshade. And that's fun. It's one of my favorite things to do, is to make lamps out of beads and like lids and stuff, because it's super simple and they look great in your rooms. And that brings us back to the front of our Gravity Falls Mystery Shack dollhouse, which has lasted over the years. The structure itself has remained very solid. We've lost a few of the small pieces, like some Grunkle stands and the table in Dipper's room. I have no idea where that went. But for the most part, the house itself is holding up very well. So if you would like to see how to make this, please check out the tutorial on our channel. Follow us on Instagram at My Froggy Stuff and the Frog Vlog. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. And we will see you next time. Oh yeah, and don't forget to let us know what Easter eggs you found. So yeah, comment down below. Okay, bye!